Have you ever wondered why the more you chase her, the faster she seems to run away? Why the more you give, the less she values it? There's a hidden reason, one that no one teaches you when you're young. It's because the moment she becomes your addiction, you stop being the man she was drawn to in the first place. At first, maybe you didn't even notice it. You just liked being around her. Her smile lit up your day. Her attention made you feel important. You felt alive, like you were finally somebody. But little by little, something started to change. You weren't just happy with her. You needed her to be happy at all. You started checking your phone every 5 minutes. You started planning your whole life around when she might call, when she might want to see you. You stopped doing the things that once made you proud. Without realizing it, you gave her a power that no woman should ever have. The power to control how you feel about yourself. And here's the part nobody warns you about. The second you need her more than you need your own purpose, the second she feels that her approval matters more to you than your own pride, she feels it. Women have an amazing sense for this. It's like a sixth sense. They can tell when a man's world starts to revolve around them. And when that happens, the attraction they once felt slowly starts to fade. Because deep down, women don't want to be the center of a man's life. They want to be part of a life that's already strong, exciting, and full without them. When you lose yourself in her, you stop being that man. You become a shadow of the man you used to be. And no woman can truly fall in love with a shadow. So today, I'm going to show you how to break free. Not by playing games, not by pretending not to care, but by becoming a man who is so full of life, so full of purpose, that love becomes something you choose, not something you chase. Because when you stop making her your addiction, you start becoming her deepest desire. Are you ready to see how? The trap of constant giving and why it destroys respect. Have you ever asked yourself, if I give her everything she wants, won't she love me even more? It sounds right, doesn't it? Movies, songs, and even advice from people tell you, give her your time, give her your attention, give her your heart, and you do it. You answer her text right away. You cancel your plans to see her. You make her happiness more important than your own. But then something strange happens. Instead of getting closer, she starts to pull away. Instead of being grateful, she becomes colder. Instead of loving you more, she seems bored, even annoyed. Why? Because constant giving feels good at first, but over time, it kills attraction. When you give without limit, without pause, without making her earn your presence, you send a silent message dash. You're saying, I am less important than you. And guess what? She hears that message loud and clear, even if you never say it out loud. And deep down, she starts to lose respect for you. Here's a secret that powerful men understand. Respect must come before love. Without respect, love cannot survive. Without respect, your giving will start to feel annoying instead of charming. Think about it. If something is always easy to get, always there, no matter how it's treated, Does it feel special anymore? Number. The same is true for you. You must be valuable. You must have standards. You must have a life so full that when you give your time, it's rare and it means something. This isn't about being mean. It's not about playing games. It's about knowing your own worth. When you value yourself highly, she will too. When your time and attention are precious, she will treasure them. When you are a man of purpose, not just a man of giving, she will chase you, not the other way around. So ask yourself today, are you giving because it's healthy? Or are you giving because you're afraid to lose her? Because real strength, the kind that makes women feel safe, proud, and wildly attracted, comes from being a man who can love deeply without losing himself, and the man who doesn't fear losing someone is the man no woman ever wants to lose. Why chasing love is the fastest way to lose it. You might have heard it a million times. Chase the one you love. Make her the center of your world. But does that advice actually work? What if everything you've been taught about love and attraction was backwards? Imagine this. You've got everything you think she wants. You're available at any time. You're constantly there to support her. And you give her your attention the moment she asks for it. But no matter how much you give, it feels like the more you chase, the farther away she gets. Here's the harsh truth. Chasing a woman is the fastest way to lose her. Think about it. When you chase something, what are you saying? You're telling her that she's the prize. You're putting her on a pedestal, making her feel as though she's the one who controls the game. And that's dangerous. When you put someone else's needs before your own, constantly, you start losing respect for yourself. And guess what? She notices. A woman is attracted to a man who has his own life, his own purpose, his own passions. When you're always available, always there to serve her, always giving, she begins to feel overwhelmed. And worse, she begins to feel bored. She starts to see you as predictable. You lose that mysterious aura that made her interested in the first place. So what's the solution? Stop chasing. Live your life for you, not for her. A man who lives for his own goals, who's on his own journey, who doesn't need validation to feel confident. That man is attractive. A man who is genuinely busy with his own life, not just chasing after her, is the man who becomes irresistible. Does this mean you can't care about her? Absolutely not. But it does mean you must put yourself first. When you prioritize your own life and passions, and you make her a part of it, not the center of it, you'll notice something interesting happening. She'll start to chase you. You become a man who has a purpose, a life, and self-worth. And that makes you more valuable in her eyes. It's not manipulation. It's just the law of attraction. Women naturally gravitate toward a man who is whole on his own. The irony? When you stop chasing her, you become the one she chases. Why being less available makes you more attractive. Do you know the most powerful thing you can do in a relationship? it's disappear. Not literally, but in terms of emotional presence and constant availability. Here's the paradox you might never have considered. The less you are around, the more she will want you. Sounds strange, right? Let's break this down and uncover why absence is the key to attraction. Absence creates desire. Think about a time when you missed something or someone. Maybe it was a good friend who moved away, a favorite restaurant that closed down, or even a place you used to visit often. The more you couldn't have it, the more you wanted it, right? Desire thrives when there's scarcity. Now let's connect that to relationships. If you're always there, always accessible, always ready to give her attention, you become predictable and, in a way, boring. But when you're not constantly available, when you have your own life and activities, she'll begin to miss your presence. She'll start to realize the value of the time she spends with you. Suddenly, you're not just an option, you're a prize she craves. This isn't about playing games. It's about living a full, rich life, where you're not relying on her to complete you, but you're sharing your best self with her when you're together. That's what makes your presence so valuable. The power of not always responding. You don't need to be glued to your phone, waiting for her to message you. When you take your time to respond, it doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're in control. You're living your life, pursuing your passions, and not putting everything on hold for her. This builds intrigue, curiosity, and yes, attraction. Why does this work so well? Because emotional stability is attractive. When you don't feel the need to react immediately to everything, it shows strength and inner peace. And that's magnetic. Absence gives you power. Here's the big realization. When you're less available, you're in control. You don't let her dictate when you should give your time or attention. You don't need to chase her. You simply allow the relationship to grow naturally. You have your own goals, your own path, and your own life, and that makes you more intriguing, more valuable. Think of your life as a garden. If you water a plant too much, it starts to drown. But if you give it the right amount of attention, it grows strong, healthy, and beautiful. The same goes for relationships. Don't let her become your world. When you're constantly available to someone, it sends the message that you have no other priorities or purpose outside of them. That's a dangerous place to be. It not only makes you look desperate, but it also takes away the mystery and excitement that comes from not being available all the time. Instead, make sure that you are the center of your world. Have goals, hobbies, friendships, and passions that fill your life. When you do this, your life becomes full, and she will naturally want to be a part of it. This is the true power of absence. You're not withdrawing to punish her. You're creating space so that the relationship can grow in a healthy, balanced way. You're allowing her to earn your time and attention, which makes it all the more valuable when you choose to give it. When she sees that you have your own life, that you're not waiting around for her, she'll want to be part of it. And that's the type of attraction that lasts. self-worth. The key to attracting the right woman. What if I told you that the key to attracting the right woman doesn't lie in how much you give her, but in how much you value yourself? It might sound like a contradiction to everything you've been taught. But here's the truth. When you know your worth, you stop chasing validation. And that is one of the most attractive things a man can do. You are not defined by her. Think about this. When a man places his entire worth in the hands of another person, in this case a woman, he loses his power. You begin to define yourself by how much she needs you, or how much she likes you. But here's the real power move. You define yourself. You set your value. When you don't need her validation to feel good about yourself, you naturally become more appealing. This is a mindset shift that's critical to your success in relationships. Women are attracted to men who have their own sense of self, who know their value and don't rely on someone else to feel whole. A woman will never respect a man who is desperate for her approval. But a man who is confident in his own identity, who has his own purpose, his own goals, his own life, that's the kind of man who catches her attention. Your purpose comes first. Women want to be a part of a man's life who already has a life. When your purpose, goals and dreams come first, you become a man of substance. You don't need to bend over backwards to prove your worth. In fact, the more you focus on what you want to achieve in life, the more women will see that you're not just a nice guy. You're a man with direction and purpose. When you make yourself a priority, not only will you feel more fulfilled, but your relationships will become more balanced. You won't fall into the trap of trying to prove yourself or chasing after affection. Instead, you'll attract someone who appreciates you for who you are, not for how much attention or validation you can give her. Building self-worth through action. One of the most effective ways to build self-worth is through action. It's easy to talk about being confident or valuing yourself, but the true test is in what you do. What actions are you taking to improve yourself? Are you working on your career? Are you investing in your physical health? Are you building meaningful relationships with friends and family? These are the things that truly define your self-worth, not how much a woman approves of you. As you put time and energy into developing yourself, you'll notice something incredible. You'll stop worrying about her feelings, and you'll begin to prioritize your own well-being. And that shift in focus is incredibly attractive. Women will see a man who is not only confident, but who is constantly growing. And that's magnetic. Confidence is silent, not loud. Confidence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about showing off or making sure everyone knows how successful you are. True confidence is quiet, it's subtle, and it's grounded in knowing that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. When you're confident in yourself, you exude a calm strength that women are naturally drawn to. There's no need for unnecessary gestures or chasing after attention. Your value is already clear to anyone who takes the time to observe. This is the power of self-worth. It gives you the freedom to be yourself without relying on others for approval. And when you stop seeking external validation, you actually become more attractive. the right woman will recognize your worth. As you begin to focus on your own growth and self-worth, you'll find that the right woman will start showing up. She'll be the one who admires your independence, respects your time, and appreciates the life you've built. She won't try to change you, and she certainly won't need constant reassurance of her place in your life. Instead, she'll add to the life you've already created, a life of purpose, fulfillment, and self-respect. And that's the kind of woman you want. Not one who needs you to validate her every move, but one who is equal to you, a partner who shares your values and helps you grow. Scarcity makes you priceless. Imagine this. You walk into a store. On one table, there's a pile of common things. Cheap, everywhere, easy to get. On another table, there's one rare item, beautiful, valuable, one of a kind. Which one would you be drawn to? It's the same when it comes to you and your time. When you are everywhere, you are nowhere. When you are rare, you are priceless. Scarcity creates value. Scarcity is one of the most powerful forces in human behavior. When something is easily available, it loses value. But when it's rare, people crave it. This is true in friendships, business, and yes, in attraction. If you are always available, always texting first, always making time, you become common in her mind. You're no longer a treasure she feels lucky to have found. You become another guy trying to win her attention. And trust me, that's not where you want to be. By living a busy, purpose-driven life, you naturally become less available. You're not ignoring her. You're simply focused on your mission. And that scarcity creates curiosity, desire, and deep respect. Space builds desire. When you're not always present, you give her the chance to miss you. You give her mind room to wonder about you. This space is where desire grows. It's a powerful thing when a woman starts thinking, where is he? What is he doing? Why isn't he chasing me like the others? You are creating a mystery, not by playing games, but by living fully. When you have passions, goals, and responsibilities that matter more than sitting by the phone, you naturally generate that space. Desire is born in absence. It's born when she feels your presence missing and realizes your value even more. Don't chase, lead. Chasing is about desperation. It says, I need you to be happy. Leading is about strength. It says, I'm moving forward. You can walk with me if you choose. By being scarce, not as a trick, but because you are genuinely busy building your life, you are leading. You are showing that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone. That's magnetic. A man who leads doesn't have to convince a woman to stay. She chooses to stay because she respects the path he's on. Scarcity forces clarity. Another hidden benefit of being less available is that it forces clarity in a relationship. If a woman truly values you, she will meet you halfway. She will reach out. She will put in effort. But if she doesn't, you'll see it clearly, without wasting your time. Scarcity reveals true interest. It separates the ones who are serious from the ones who are just passing time. This saves you from investing in dead-end connections. It protects your energy and keeps you open for someone who genuinely matches your vision and values. Live fully, and she will follow. The more you focus on building a rich, exciting life for yourself, the less you have to worry about being attractive. You become attractive by who you are, not by how often you text or show up. Focus on your passions. Dive into your goals. Invest in your dreams. Let your absence be the side effect of a life so full that you don't have time to chase. Let her curiosity and desire grow in the spaces you naturally create. Because when you're rare, you're not just wanted, you're treasured.